Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing swatches of the Revolution Pro Rockstar palettes. I have the Nude Edition and the Noir Edition. These just came out about a week and a half ago. I have used both of these on the eyes once each, and they are very, very nice palettes. The shimmers in here on the eyes with a wet brush are beautiful, so I just want to sort of swatch the rest of the colours, as I've only used like one shimmer out of each palette, so I kind of just want to see what they look like before I use them again. So we'll start off with the Noir Edition. This is the darker one. It is a very, very nice palette. When I used the shade Queen. It's sort of like a green to gold duochrome. It's very, very nice. I won't be swatching the pressed glitters because they don't show up very well. But yeah, let's just get into this. So this is the Noir palette, and I got both of these for £20 on Revolution's website when they first came out. They are £14.99 each, I think, normally, but I think the 2 for 20 deal may still be going on. I'm not entirely sure. So yeah, so the first shade is called Alone. I don't know how well this will show up on my arm. Hang on, just let me take my watch off. It's a very, very light shade, but that is the shade Alone. And then we have the shade Lust. This is a very, very nice browny orange colour. I'll just run them over twice so it sort of shows up a bit better. See that shade there? And then we have the shade Divine. I don't know how well the metallics will show up without a wet brush, but if you look at it, that's beautiful. Just this shade right here, that is stunning. And then the next shade we have is the shade Promise. It's also another shimmer shade. It's a bit lighter. I don't know if you guys can see that there, just this shade here. That is quite light on my skin tone. I'm going to miss out the pressed glitter shade Harmony. And then we have the shade Femme, which is like a very, very nice burgundy red colour, if you guys can see that there. It's very, very nice. And then we have the shade Decadent. I can't wait to use this shade. It's like a pink to silver duochrome. Can you guys see that? That is beautiful. I can't wait to try this out on the lid. It just looks like that. That is a beautiful, beautiful shade. And then Queen, which I've already used, which is like the green to gold duochrome. It just looks more goldy on the swatch, but it does change to green on the lid in different lights. And then we have the shade Glory. This is a very, very nice creamy shimmer shade. It just looks like that. It's more of a corally colour. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go. And then the shade Oris, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's just a beautiful gold. It just looks like that. If you guys can see that there. It's a pretty, pretty shade. And then we have the shade Timeless, which is a green. I don't know if this is a duochrome one or not, but it's sort of like a khaki green. That is very, very nice. It just looks like that there. It's a beautiful shade. And then we have another creamy shimmery shade. This is Edition. It just looks like that. Sort of a reddish brown shimmer shade. Then we have the shade Haze, which is another creamy shimmer. It just looks like that here. And that's how it looks on the skin. And then I'm not going to do the pressed glitter Drama. Then we have the shade Fatal or Fatale. It just looks like that. There's a lot of gold in this palette, but they are all different and all stunning. That's a very, very nice colour. And then we have the shade Mystery. You guys can see that, it just looks like that. Very, very nice. That's like a brownie, pinky duochrome shade. Then we have the shade Ultimatum. I'm sure this is one of the ones I used on my eye. But that's a very, very nice brown matte shade. This is very nice for the crease. And then we have the shade Solo. I'm sure I used this colour as well on the lid the other day when I tested this out. But yeah, that's just a beautiful matte shade too. So that was the Solo shade and the Noir Edition Rockstar palette. Very, very nice for £14 or 2 for 20 if the deal is still going on. Then we have the Nude Edition palette. I don't know how well these shades will show up on my skin. When I used it the other day, the colours in here are very, very light for my skin tone. I really had to build them up. I used the shade Playful, Undone, Liberate and Eternal. The shimmer showed up fine, but the rest of the shades were very, very light on my skin. So I don't know how well these will swatch, but we'll give it a bash anyway. So we'll start with the shade Elusive, which is pretty much just a skin tone colour. I don't know how well this will show up. See, it's barely showing up on my skin, but that's the shade Elusive. This would maybe be good as over the top of your eyeshadow primer before you put your colour on. This is the shade Playful right here. Again, see, it's very, very light. It's showing up briefly, but it is a very, very light. I did have to build that up quite a few times. Then we have the shade Naked, which is sort of like a goldy shimmer shade. I don't know if you guys can see that there. Again, it is showing up on my skin, but just very, very lightly. Then we have Couture. I'm not going to bother swatching that one. Then we have the shade Mellow, which is like a brownie shimmer shade, brownie gold shimmer shade, which is very nice. That one shows up a better. That one's very, very nice there. Then we have Au Natural, which is also a brownie khaki sort of shimmer shade. Just a shade here, right here. That is very, very nice. That would probably be nice with like a green matte base. I might try that out one day, but that's that shade there. And then we have the shade So Real, which again is just a brownie sort of gold shimmer shade. You can tell this palette's very, very brownie nude related, that obviously with the name, but yeah, that's just that shade there. Then we have Eternal. This is the one that I used on my lid yesterday when I tried this palette out. It's just a goldy shimmery shade. It's beautiful. You guys can see that there. And then we have the Press Glitter Whisper. I'm not going to bother with that. Then we have Artiste, which sort of looks like a rose goldy shade. Yep, that's sort of like a rose gold shimmer. That's very nice too. This palette will probably still get a lot of love. I just probably won't use the mattes too often with them being so light, but the shimmers will probably get some good use out of. Then this is the shade Halo, which again you can barely see on my skin. Sorry, no, that was the shade Liberate. Halo is the next shade, which is sort of like a silvery, goldy duochrome. Very, very light on my skin tone as well. It would probably be okay if I built it up with a wet brush, but yeah, it's just the shade here. Then we have the shade Undone, which is very similar to the shade Liberate. The formula of these feels really nice though. They're very, very soft and they do blend well. That's the shade Undone. Then we have the shade Please Me, which is sort of like a brownie gold shimmer, which is very, very nice. Then we have Tease, which is sort of a purpley pinky duochrome. This will probably look stunning on the eye. If you guys can see that, that is a very, very nice shade. That's the shade Tease. Then we have the shade Simplicity, which is sort of like another greeny browny sort of shade, a little bit darker than some of the other ones though, but still very nice. Then we have the matte shade Hidden, which I think will show up quite light on my skin too. Yeah. And then the very last shade is called True, which is sort of like a grey brown shimmery colour, which is just this one right here. So that is swatches of both of these palettes. I do highly recommend them for the price and for how soft and smooth the formulas feel, and how stunning the glitters go on the eyes. They are absolutely beautiful when you put them on with a wet brush. So I would highly recommend these, especially if they are still on offer for 2 for £20. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.